is coming along. Any progress worth mentioning?
What is that?
Oh, that. Yes, it's quite promising, I believe. Definitely on the right track. Results should be soon.
Right. And what did you say the point of this little venture was?
Have you heard from your family recently?
Oh, no, wouldn't
No,
do
not
to say
really.
it all.
Couriers don't
Not,
seem to like delivering
not
letters
now. Not at all.
That's too
I have
bad.
far too many things to do
here.
still.
Not at all. Means
you
I'm not
say
being
so.
hounded about my progress at the college.
Pardon me?
I'm working on some very important...
Arniel.
The exact nature of my research is a secret, I'm afraid.
Is there...
But it really is
Is
quite
there any
valuable.
college business I can assist with?
You mean the official sort of business? Well, no. No, not really. But I can't help but notice that you're doing quite well for yourself. Rising through the ranks and all. It may not be official, but there is a project I've been working on. I wonder if perhaps you could assist with it.
Can you tell me more about this project?
Yes. No, I don't think so. Not at this point. It's just that, well, I'm not even really sure it's going to amount to anything just yet. All theoretical right now, you understand?
Understood.
But the implications are quite intriguing, I think.
Are they?
I simply need some experimental results to confirm my suspicions. Just bring me some Dwemer cogs. I need to examine
Cogs,
the
huh?
methods used in forging them. 10 of them should be enough for me to get a better understanding of how they were crafted. That's all I need, all right?
I can... probably... Oh, never mind. 10 cogs it is. What is Arniel up to? Mother said to follow my instincts. And I think Arniel has something to offer. Dwemer cogs, though. I don't have enough in store. I do have a couple. Excuse me?
But Cesargo could still use some help.
I can help show you the way out of my room. It's this way. Cesargo, please leave.
Well, hello and welcome. My name is Joe and I am the Panicked Monk, and you are watching Lost in Time, a Dwemer's Tale. Szenac has organized his things. He's gotten rid of a whole lot of stuff and picked up on an interesting conversation with Arniel. If you remember back, Narada told Szenac that he's going to need to follow his instincts. He's going to follow his gut, his heart, on where to find these tools of Kagrenac. And there's something about that conversation. There's something about Arniel's kind of beating around the bush that Szenac found somewhat interesting and thinks there might be something to what it is that he's studying, whatever that might be. He hasn't told us, he won't say, but in order to do that, he is going to need some Dwemer cogs. Now, Szenac does have a couple Dwemer cogs that he has taken from his various exploits, but he does not have enough of them, so he's going to need to pick up a couple more. Fortunately, he knows where to get those and what to look for. So, obtaining the cogs shouldn't be too much of a problem. So he is going to Deepful Crossing, which he would know as Bthar-zel. And it is an old, ruined Dwemer city-state that really the only thing left of it is just a few surface ruins. He does not know that, of course, but considering the state of how all of the other ruins or city-states and Dwemer buildings are in, he can probably guess that it is in no better condition, although he will likely be surprised that there is so little of it left. Bthar-zel would have been part of the Aetherium city-states that mined and shared their knowledge of Aetherium and the ore. Although not as major of a player as, say, Arkanthomps or Bthar-domps and all of those would have been, Rad Bthar, or Rald Bthar rather. So, after talking with some people at the college and getting an idea of where it is, he needs to go to find this last shard after talking with the mages and other luminaries and describing that he needs to find or something at, or, well, I don't think he would have explained entirely what he was doing, maybe a little bit, that he was looking to find something in a place called Deep Folk Crossing, and they would have helped him. They would have helped him probably find his way. Now, he actually probably would have gone to Urag for help with this. I think out of everyone, he probably trusts Urag the most. Because in Szenac's eyes, Urag actually has the least personal gain, or the least interest in personal gain outside of his library. So Urag is really a man of knowledge, really. And if he can help spread that knowledge and reduce the ignorance in Skyrim, I think Urag would be happy to help. He's a little crass, of course, but I think overall he would be most willing to help without any expectation of personal gain, or really probably would not be curious in the least as to why Szenac wanted to go out to Deep Folk Crossing. So after the explanation of where this is, just north of Bthar-domps, I guess, he would have come to the conclusion that what they were talking about was Bthar-zel, which likely was connected to Bthar-domps in some way, and may still be. There may still be some underground tunnels and roadways that are still intact, but there's really no way of knowing if there are, because Bthar-zel is completely devastated from the top side, so there's no way to get to those underground tunnels, and if they do exist, they are collapsed in such a way that they're not accessible from Bthar-domps either. So there's really nothing for it. It's really just a couple scattered ruins on the top. Now, again, Szenac doesn't really know all of this. He's assuming that Bthar-zel is in ruined condition, as many of the city-states are, but I don't think he would have expected when he gets there for it to be as devastated as it is. Now this is a road he's gone down before. He's gotten some directions about heading towards Morthal, and also some directions where he could go south past Whiterun and towards Markarth. Markarth is a city-state that Szenac would have recognized as Bthar-zel, and up to this point, no one's referred to it as it, but it is a pretty big Dwemer city, so the fact that he would have been able to decipher or come to the conclusion that Bthar-zel was in fact that city based on Deep Folk Crossing and where it is located. So Szenac certainly would know that when people are talking about Markarth and where it's located, that they were actually talking about Bthar-zel, and that would intrigue him, considering it would have been spoken in such a way that people are actually inhabiting the city. So he may go to Bthar-zel to see for himself, the last of the city-states that is actually still intact. But unless something brings him there, he's really kind of laser focused at the moment. He needs to get this last Aetherium shard. Then he needs to follow up on this experiment that Arniel is doing. So he's got to get some Dwemer cogs. And it's very possible that if he does not find any Dwemer cogs in Bthar-zel, that it is close enough both to Bthar-doms and Bthar-zel that he would possibly go there looking for the rest of the cogs that he needs. I don't recall how many he has in storage right now, but it's only like 2 or 3. It's not very many, so he does need a fair amount. So it's very likely, there's the very good chance that Szenac will be looking to one or both of those cities as a means to get these cogs for Arniel, so that he can follow up and find out exactly what it is that Arniel is looking for. So he's thinking that this experiment, this thing that Arniel is being deliberately coy about, is maybe something to do with one of Kagrenac's tools. And these are little bits of information that he may have pieced together, and likely did from various conversations around the college and overhearing Arniel in other conversations. So I think it's very probable that he has taken all these small clues and put them together, that Arniel is doing something that's related to Kagrenac's tools, but he doesn't know what exactly. So right now, so he could head north. He could stay north towards Morthal, or he could go south towards Whiterun and come up past Markarth. And so that is actually what he's going to choose to do. He has been to Whiterun. He's been down in this area. Not much, but he has been down here. Remember, this is where he ran into Lucia. So he's going to head back down to Whiterun, and it'll be a nice excuse to stop in and see how she is doing. So he's got a couple things on his mind right now. Find the shard, help Arniel. In the meantime, what do we got here? What do you... Oh, Troll. Hey, Troll. Let's see if we can get a little distance here, and... Ah, damn it. Missed. Okay. Gotta stay out of reach of those things. If we can keep this thing on its heels. Come on. Go down, go down, go down. There we go. Alright. Well, that was actually one of our better efforts versus Troll. I think that is a testament to Szenac's conjurations maybe getting a bit stronger. Although the Atronach wasn't probably the strongest one he could have conjured. It's one he chose because it also has... It doesn't have the same physical toll as some of the other ones, especially the Zivilized Sorcerer. So, I think he's getting more adept at his swordsmanship. His conjurations are probably getting a bit stronger, so which is good because trolls can be really bugger to put down. That healing, the healing rate that they have can be really frustrating if you can't deal enough continuous damage. So this is another conjuration. This is Totem of the Cat, I think it was. I kind of overlooked exactly what the specific name of the spell was, but Totem of the Saber Cat or the Cat or something like that. But these are kind of interesting. So these totems, there's a bear, I think there's a wolf or a werewolf, or I don't know, but there's a bunch of them. And they summon the kind of this ghostly apparition of whatever totem there, whatever animal it is. And then if you hear that popping, the conjuration cycles through from animal to humanoid form. And as it does that, it heals. So if you get into combat and it survives the combat, or it cycles through during the combat, it will heal as it cycles through its different forms. So kind of a nice little added bonus. Now, the Saber Cat is not the strongest of these totems. The different ones have different strengths. I think the bear is stronger than the Saber Cat. I think there's a werewolf one, but I can't recall for certain. That one's really strong, if I remember right. But there is kind of a level of intensity to the different totems. It's something that Szenac doesn't use Szenac doesn't use very often, but he does like to kind of mix things up a little bit. Weather's turning sour on us. We just took our stuff off, and now we're going to have to put it back on.
Hold on. This man's in trouble. Looks like his wagon is broken down.
If I chance to see you, cat, I'll feed its corpse to my pet rat.
Excuse me.
Ah, bother and befuddle! Stuck here, stuck! My mother, my poor mother. Unmoving, at rest, but too still.
Problem?
Oh, poor Cicero is stuck. Can't you see? I was transporting my dear, sweet mother. Well, not her corpse. She's quite dead.
I see.
Mother to a new home, a new crypt, but wagon wheel, damnedest wagon wheel. It broke. Don't you see?
Is there anything I can do?
Yes, the kindly stranger can certainly help. Go to the farm, the Lorius farm, just over there off the road. Talk to Lorius. He has tools. He can help me. But
But he won't. He refuses.
You have asked him earlier.
Convince Loris to fix my wheel. Do that, and poor Cicero will reward you with coin. Gleamy, shiny coin.
Very well. I have a few minutes of time. And the farm looks to be right here, so I'll see if I can speak with this Lorius. Can't imagine he would want such a strange little man at the end of his drive to just stay there with a wagon broken down. Excuse me, are you Lorius?
Oh, for the love of Mara, what now?
The little man needs your help.
That Cicero feller? Huh, tell me something I don't know. Crazy fool's already asked me about 5 times. Seems he's not satisfied with my answer. Why can't he just leave us alone?
So, what's the problem? I'm sure he'll pay you.
Pay me? You think this is about money? Have you seen the man? He's completely out of his head. A jester here in Skyrim? Ain't been a merry man in these parts for 100 years. And he's transporting some giant box. Says it's a coffin, and he's going to bury his mother. Mother, my eye. Could have anything in there. War contraband, weapons, skooma? Ain't no way I'm getting involved in any of that.
You have a point.
Well, there is something. There's a guard patrols the road that crazy jester is on. He passes by pretty often. You could report the fool. You know, say he's done something against the law.
What?
That will at least get rid of him for me. What do you say?
I'm not going to condemn an innocent man.
Fine, suit yourself. But you're wrong anyway. Just look at the fool. I don't know what it is, but he's damn well guilty of something.
That could very well be, but
I thought we talked
how
enough.
does this help you
Unless you've
get rid of him?
reconsidered my offer. That Cicero needs sorting.
No. You know you should help him. He's done nothing against you.
Look, Yes, you're right. Feller might be nutters, might not. But fact is, he needs help. I turned him away. What kind of a man am I, huh? Look,
You're the man on the bad side of a nutter, if that's the
I'm
truth.
sorry for my unneighborly reaction. If you talk to Cicero, you be sure to tell him I'll be down to help soon.
I'll let him know. Thank you for your, cooperation. Alright. Turn him into the guard. Why would I do that? What a cowardly thing to do. For no reason. Alright. Cicero, was it?
Poor mother! Her new home seems so very far.
I talked to Lorius. He's agreed to come and help you.
You did? He has? Oh, stranger! You have made Cicero so happy, so jubilant and ecstatic, but more, even more, my mother thanks you.
Yeah.
Here for your troubles, shiny, clicky gold. A few coins for your kind deed, and thank you again.
Well, you're quite welcome. I hope you get your mother to rest. Good day. How did I end up in between that bazaar? Ugh, no matter, it's done. Alright. Come, cat. Let's get out of this rain, shall we?
Alright, back on track to Winterhold? No, to Whiterun. Whiterun, ladies and gentlemen. We are heading to Whiterun. Szenac opted to help out Cicero. From his perspective, his point of view, he saw a strange, possibly, most likely, mentally unstable man broken down on the road. The guards were refusing to help him. He had gone to this Laureus, and Laureus refused to help him. And
Are you a member of the college, or did you just...
Szenac just, it didn't make sense to him. What's to be gained of ignoring this poor man broken down on the side of the road? Especially if it's just off your property. There's no benefit to be had in ignoring him. Especially if the guards aren't going to do anything. And if you're not going to turn him into the guards, why would Szenac do that for you? That would be, that's just ridiculous. So Szenac was able to go up, convince Laureus that, just go and help the guy. It's to your benefit. It's to the little man's benefit, so just be done with it. It's going to take you, half hour, 45 minutes. Just take the time, do the right thing, send him on his way, and you can go about your life. It's pretty much as easy as that. That's kind of how Szenac looks at that. So he obviously doesn't know who Cicero is or what he's a part of. So it really... There were really no other options other than to try to help him. Now, Szenac couldn't really help him himself since he doesn't have any tools to work with. A sword and a shield certainly aren't going to be of a whole lot of help or value in fixing a wagon wheel, so. But that is done. And we are heading into Whiterun. Whiterun is... let's double check. Yes. Head to Bthar-zel, or Markarth, as the natives call it. Head that direction. And we should be to Bthar-zel. Well, probably not today. It looks like the weather is going to hold us back. So Szenac is going to actually go into Whiterun. He wanted to use this time to go visit Lucia anyway. It's been a long time since he's been down here, and wants to check up on her. If you remember, very early on, he stopped in here, and he ended up actually leaving some rough bedding in around where she sleeps. So it was kind of the most he could do at the time. He certainly can't adopt her. I mean, that's just not going to work. He doesn't even have hardly a home himself, and dragging her all the way up to the College of Winterhold doesn't seem practical. So he's going to kind of keep an eye on her from a distance as best he can, help her out a little bit. And this detour down south and around this way towards Markarth and Bthar-zel, or Deepful Crossing, seems like a good opportunity to do that. And with the weather being as sour as it is, it could be worse, but it could be a heck of a lot better. It'd be nice to maybe get a room, stay for the night, and hope for better weather in the morning. Plus putting your feet up maybe and getting a bite to eat wouldn't hurt. It is actually kind of a long haul from Winterhold all the way down to Whiterun, so he made good time. He actually only ran into a couple things, which was very fortunate. So it allowed him to really make up some good time, and it was probably one of the reasons that he felt he had time to help Cicero. Is that he just really wasn't held back by anything.
If you need potions, you should try Arcadia's cauldron.
Thank you for the advice.
Need something?
Need a room. That's what I need.
You're that one from the college. Heard about you.
Have you now? What exactly have you heard, I wonder?
Dragonborn, it is my honor to stand before you.
What are you looking at? I'm not afraid of you.
Have you seen
dogs,
Lucia?
elders. There's nobody I won't fight.
As if
Fine.
Skyrim didn't have enough outsiders. Now we've got mercenaries from Hammerfell strutting about.
Szenac is going to ignore the Dragonborn comment, assuming that the guards were talking about someone else or to someone else. He just isn't going to acknowledge that because he doesn't even know what the hell that means, to be honest. Alright, he's going to go back to where he last knew Lucia kind of, made her nest, if you will. Almost quite literally.
Where is she? Where's the bedding? Did they take the bedding from her? It has been quite some time. It very likely could have went bad. Straw can't last forever, and skins out in this weather, even with an overhang,
Stupid
it
Lars,
won't last long.
Battleborn. I fight him almost every day. But it's not
Well,
my
we'll
fault
have to make another.
you don't fight back.
Give her a fresh place to lie. I wish I could put a roof over her head. Alright, I need some fur. Pardon me, may I step in? Thank you, ma'am.
Ah, perfect. We picked up that winter troll pelt as well as a couple wolf pelts that attacked us along the road, and that will come in quite handy, as we will be able to now make some rough bedding for our young ward, for lack of a better term. The young girl that we've decided to help take care of from a distance. So we'll make this and go lay it down and then head to the inn. Now, I'm not quite sure where she is. Szenac does not know where she is, but at this point that really doesn't matter a lot.
What are you looking at? I'm not afraid of you, even if you are my elder.
It's not going to detract him and stop him from putting down a new, fresh, warm place for her to lie, if indeed she still is here. I guess at this point it really hasn't crossed his mind that she wouldn't be, so he's just assuming that she is, elsewhere.
There. Yes, that should do. That should do nicely. Where are you, Lucia? Now, let's get out of the rain. It's getting dark, too. Take a quick look up here before we go into the Bannered Mare. Pardon me, have you seen...
Thinking of settling in? There's a house for sale. Breeze home. You should talk to the
Yes.
steward up in the keep if you're interested.
No, I don't. Have you seen a little... No.
Rorikstead's a nice enough little hamlet, but a boring posting for it.
Huh. It's getting dark.
Well,
Where could she be?
What are you, boys, girls, dogs?
Go home, little girl.
There's
It's
nobody
getting
in
late.
sight.
Heard there were wolves on the road up north.
There were.
You're the best.
Oh,
Can you be my
there you
father?
are. I'm afraid not, young Lucia.
Come on in. Let me know if
Mister,
you need
could you
anything.
spare a coin?
By the fire.
Absolutely. Do you mind if I sit?
Oh, thank you. Divines, bless your kind heart. Stay safe.
You too. Now, have you eaten yet? Are you hungry? Let me take these wet furs off.
Sadia, wake up there.
I'm so hungry.
Are you now? Let me look. Perhaps I've got a few things.
I'm so hungry.
Hold on now. Let's look.
So, Senac's just digging through his bag. He's got a few things. He's got a few rations that he's going to share. They're basically just going to have supper together. Catch up a little bit. Doesn't have a lot of stuff, but he's got enough, I think, to share with Lucia. Little stew, some bread, and some cheese. She can have the potato soup. And I think Szenac will have the apple cabbage. And an ale for Szenac. Even if he were to offer it to her, I don't think Lucia would probably be keen on the taste of ale. Not quite yet, at least.
Depends. Are you thirsty? Hungry? Both.
Bye, Lucia.
Alright, so this is actually good timing, so he's going to buy a couple more things. What's going on here is Szenac is going to buy some things for Lucia. He's going to make a deal. He's going to make a deal with the innkeeper. Is it Hulda, I think? We'll find out shortly. He's going to make a deal and ask her to ration some things out for Lucia over, this next week or so. So he's going to buy some provisions for her and make a deal so that Lucia can come in here and at least get one meal a day that's got some nutrition to it. It looks like they don't mind her coming in here out of the rain, so that's a kind offer, but he does understand too that they can't just give out their stores to every person that comes through the door. So he's going to purchase some on Lucia's behalf. Probably not the raw beef, though. Although he could definitely purchase the raw and have it cooked at the time it's needed. So,
Please, no more questions.
That is what he has just done.
The court wizard, you'll find him somewhere in that general direction.
All right, well, let's go talk to Hulda, I believe. Is it Hulda?
If it's work you need, how about
I think it
chopping up
is.
some wood for the fires?
Actually, I need to strike up a deal with you for Lucia, and I would like a room for the night.
Got their dwarfen make, am I right?
Yes, it is.
I heard the gourmets
Yes,
hiding out
Hulda.
somewhere in Skyrim. You know,
All right, we're gonna
fella
get a
who wrote
room.
that cookbook?
We're gonna make our deal.
Sure thing. It's yours
And
for a
we
day.
are going to rest here in the Bannered Mare and head out bright and early in the morning
Right this way.
to continue our quest for the Aetherium shards.
I had to. The farmers are charging me double for the produce I sell.
Let me guess. They're saying it's because of this trouble with the Stormcloaks?
And that is going to bring us to the end of this episode.
Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Thank you so much for joining me and continuing our adventures with Szenac on his quest for understanding and all that stuff. And as always, until next time, safe travels. Thank you.